So Ivy, we were talking this morning about the EEOC and what that entity does. Can you explain a little bit more for those of us who might have forgotten since this morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the EEOC stands for the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. It's a federal agency that was established by Congress. And the whole goal of the EEOC was to be a funnel to prevent people from running into the courthouses, right? So when Title VII was passed in 1964, when it was amended in 1991, one of the predicates to that legislation that Congress installed was the EEOC. It's a federal agency, and it says that if you want to sue your employer for something like discrimination, retaliation, harassment, before you can go to court, you first have to go to the EEOC and file what we call an EEOC charge. The charge is sent to the employer, and the charge is putting the employer on notice. I have a claim and I want to sue you. And that allows for early reconciliation of the charge. You can settle the charge. And it's a way to kind of prevent the courthouse doors from being subject to a floodgate problem. So all of our clients, if they want to go to court, they have to file an EEOC charge first.
Okay, and you said Title VII, that deals with all of the discrimination type claims that we're talking about, whether it's race, gender, age, something like that, right?
Correct, right. Title VII is one of the main statutes that we would bring race or gender discrimination claims under. It also covers religious discrimination. Age discrimination claims are covered by the Age Discrimination in Employment Act, the ADEA, and then disability claims are covered by the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is the ADA. So all those statutes are still subject to the EEOC requirement, so any type of claim like that for discrimination or harassment would have to go through the EEOC first.
Okay, and we talked about the a demand letter as well. So do you have to go through the EEOC before you can draft a demand letter? Can they be used interchangeably? What's the process on that to get the employer on notice?
That's a great question. I get that from folks all the time. So the EEOC charge is mandatory. The demand letter is not. We don't have to send a demand letter. We can go out today on day one and file your EEOC charge if you want, and we never have to do a demand letter. The perk of a demand letter is before we go to EEOC and we have that formal official charge filed, let's see if we can talk about settlement. If we can't, then we'll have to go to EEOC. But sometimes we send a demand letter before we do the charge to see how the company is going to respond, what their willingness to talk about early resolution is. So they can be used at the same time, or you can do one before the other. Sometimes we go out and file an EEOC charge today because the deadline is today and we have to file it today, and then we do a demand letter. So they can be used together or one or the other.